Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Washington football team. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. They go back to Pollard on second down. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. This Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
On third down, it's Prescott. And he's got his big tight end here. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
They go back to Pollard on second down, and he'll get it down here to the 43.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Only needing 2 yards on second down. Now a give here to Pollard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
They'll run on first down. Pollard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Here's Prescott. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. A play fake, now Fields to throw. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Play action. It's Fields. Escaping the pressure right. They'll dump that off to Gibson, complete. And he is across midfield from one 49 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. That catch good for only a couple. From just shy of midfield, Fields. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing on third down, Fields. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On play action, Fields. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Off play action, Fields. And down inside the 15 he goes.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. Point after, right down the middle. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. These two teams all tied after one. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. He'll buy some time right. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Fighting through it. He's got space. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And a nice call and really good execution there because they gave him a little bit of a different launch angle perhaps, you know. You don't want to have the quarterback dropping back 5 to 7 steps on every play and have the defense zero in on it. There you hope that you get your defense going one way. They sent him the other, and they picked up nice yardage with that completion.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Now Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now the man from Kentucky, this is Lynn Bowden. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. To throw is Fields. Being chased out left. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. They'll run with Gibson. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
It's brought in by Harris. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Here's Fields. And And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. And his kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Taking it about the 1. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott. He'll dump this one off to Bowden, complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it. Looking to throw. Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's James. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. Tackle made by Chase Young. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Prescott. Swinging this out for Pollard. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Prescott to throw it. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. CeeDee Lamb. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead. The extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out there setting ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. Touchdown, Washington! Terry McLaurin, his 9th touchdown of the season. And Washington has once again taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 17-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they've got a little under 40 seconds to go if they want to try to put something together here.
Just like that. Just like that. Switch.
First down, Prescott. They'll run the screen with Bowden. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
And some play callers, when they go into games, they don't mind calling a lot of screens, and they don't care what down. They were maybe one block away from really having something there to start this drive. Good job defensively to cut through the blockers and make the tackle on the screen, or that could have gone for maybe 15 or 20 yards.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. He's picked off at his own 46. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Fields. Flushed out right. And he wisely will throw that one away. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
On first down, Fields. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. And then after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Back to throw, Fields. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight, forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense. Just flooded the field with defensive backs. Blanketed everyone. Took away all the passing angles. Thus, the incompletion.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They snap it to Fields. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So pass interference to call, and that does not look to be going over too well on the defensive side.
Or on their sideline, because I believe their head coach is saying right now, hey, you've got to call that both ways.
Harris. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Gibson. And he pushes forward, but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Justin Fields keeping it himself from a yard out. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. Point after try forthcoming. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially. But you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. Open man, right side, it's Lamb. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. They'll check this one down to Bowden, complete. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down. Prescott to throw on 4th. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Pollard going to try the right side. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
And his kick is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send a message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Fields now to throw. And that'll be complete to the running back, Gibson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Now a 1st down throw, Fields. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. Gibson gets hit and he fumbles it. And the Cowboys have recovered. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard, and he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Keon Crossan. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver. Whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter, they'll determine that on the sideline.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Julian Love picks it, and the Cowboys are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. So that time the pressure got home just as he was releasing the football and caused the pick.
And what it did was it disrupted that fragile balance of the mechanics of throwing the football. You know, from the footwork to being able to actually throw it.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Cowboys! Tony Pollard with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying this ball game here in the final moments of the third quarter. A try here for the extra point. And that will tie our game here in the third quarter. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Now it's Fields. Dancing to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
Behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 15. Here's Fields. That'll be caught. It's Tony. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He's trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and it's 2nd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Washington on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Fields. He's got it to Gibson. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 32-yard line.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
second down at 4. They run again with Harris. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Play action. Fields. They'll roll him out right. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
That's out to the flat for Gibson. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And Washington has taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott got a man and he hits him in stride. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. They'll run for it with Pollard, and he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. The type of game that he's having running the football, there was no doubt who they were giving the ball to.
So why didn't they just go ahead and go after him on defense, right?
Yeah,
if you know, on him. Right? You know he's having that type of a game. Who else would you expect to get the football? I would have taken my chances and sold out defensively to stop him, and if anyone else picks it up, I tip my cap to him.
A first down throw for Prescott. Steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. Prescott. Rolling to his right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 9 on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Now Dak. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up fourth. And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the bet...
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard taking it in from 24 yards out. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
From the 31, Fields. Flush to his right. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Fields on first down. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown. And they've broken our tie here in the final minute.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown. Late in the game, they look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed.
And Prescott, his third interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a third and just a few inches. So a victory here for the Washington football team. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Washington, the victory moves them to 7-1 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.